Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Out of Time Film Podcast, where we talk film, TV, games, and all that jazz. Let us know tomorrow. My name is Tom, and as always, I'm joined with my co-host John.
Yes, it's me.
I can't. I really struggle getting that intro. I really do.
But ladies and gents, have you heard? Have you hearing something very, very different today?
You're hearing something different today. We have we have real audio now, so we're actually sounding somewhat normal. Somewhat.
Yeah. We spent all day figuring out how to do it, and we tried to do it on Discord, and it didn't work. And now we're doing it on Skype still. Hey.
Honestly, I spent like an hour trying to figure out loads of different methods before realizing that Skype had a built-in recording. Thanks, Skype. Savior, as always.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So
here we are. This week we're going to be talking about Wonder Woman 1984. Finally, it's been months, but we're doing it.
When did it came out?
It came out in December. So we did the original Wonder Woman ages ago, weeks and weeks ago. So if you guys want to, watch our video on the first Wonder Woman and listen to our thoughts, that was all way back then. But yeah, now we're finally here doing the sequel, only about 6 months later.
And we're going to talk about not WandaVision.
No, I don't want to talk about WandaVision anymore, please.
We're going to talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier later today.
Yes.
So
yes, we are.
Just transport over to your favorite bit of the podcast or whatever.
Yeah, we got time codes. You don't need our help. You can just hop on over. But we'll start off with a little bit of news. We got a new trailer for Fast and Furious 9. Fast 9, the Fast Saga.
I'm actually hyped for this. I'm really because
go on. Yeah, please.
Because it just looks ridiculous, and it's, as a huge film lover, we all argue the logic on the Fast and Furious films, but no, we shall not be arguing the laws of physics in Fast and Furious, because it's supposed to be stupid and fun. So
yeah, I mean, we've spoken about this before on the podcast. I've seen the first 7, haven't seen 8 or Hobbs and Shaw, but I kind of get the gist of it, so I thought, it'd be worth watching the trailer. And yeah, it does look like a load of fun. It looks absolutely bonkers. Like, we're going to space, we're doing all this stuff, John Cena's here, Han's back.
Oh, wait,
other characters from Tokyo Drift.
Oh, yes, Tokyo Drift. Sorry, that's
that.
But yeah, Tokyo Drift, that was a good one. Yeah. Hey, where was John Cena? I couldn't see him.
I don't know. I saw him in the cast, and I was like, well, he must be here somewhere.
Yeah. Again, it's good to see Han back.
Yeah.
And his name is Han Solo.
That's true. That is correct indeed.
Yeah. That's a really good sneaky way of.
It is.
The beloved Star Wars character there.
Definitely. I mean, what I am wondering though is kind of like how far, because obviously they're going to space now. They've done like halo jumps with cars. They've raced against like a submarine. Like I'm just wondering like how far are they willing to go?
And they did it to a helicopter. They went to buildings, and again, this is stupid, and I love it. Okay, because Fast and Furious, it has a special place in my heart. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot to like. I think before the film comes out, I will be watching 8 and Hobbs and Shaw, but like I don't know, because I don't really have like a huge hankering to watch, any of them after 7. I really felt like, for me, 7 could have been like the cutoff point, because it was such a perfect ending, and all the stuff they did with like Paul Walker was really like brutal.
Yeah, that was a bit weird, because me and my dad, we watched Fast and Furious 8 for the first time, because we didn't bother to watch the other Fast and Furious films.
You watched 8 before any of the others?
Yes, I'm sorry.
What was that like? Were you confused?
No, not. Huh? I was just. I mean, 8 was actually really good because you don't need a lot of background, but But I was just like, oh, okay, that's really cool. But then once you like watch the others, you're like, wow, this is a really good franchise.
Well,
Apart
I
from
used to
two,
Too Fast, Too Furious.
oh,
Well, I mean, I used to be one of the people who kind of scoffed at Fast and Furious. I used to kind of be like, oh, it's just like stupid and it's not highbrow entertainment. But I must say, it is the highest brow of entertainment. After watching them, I am indeed a fan.
yeah, it's really entertaining to watch.
Kind of save someone else.
Oh right, okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting. Oh, okay, right.
it's all so strange. I love it.
Yeah, it's strange as well. Yeah, so we'll be talking about Fast and Furious 9.
We
Like,
will, and we'll do an episode on all the other Fast and Furious films.
yeah, we're gonna rank and talk about them, and just going it each in order, just going the rating out of them. So yeah, we'll be talking about that in the future. So
We will indeed.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we do have a good old casting news. This time,
in news.
again, second week in a row, more Indiana Jones casting news. So Indiana Jones 5 is ramping up. You know, it's about to start filming, and they've just cast Mads Mikkelsen, who you will know from Rogue One, Casino Royale, Doctor Strange. He will be playing Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts 3 through 5, and he has just been cast in an unknown role in Indiana Jones 5. Now, obviously, like last week, there was the announcement that Phoebe Waller-Bridge was going to be in it, and John Williams would be coming back to score. So yeah, what are you thinking about Mads Mikkelsen?
Yeah, he's a great actor. But my prediction is he's going to be the villain. So
I mean, I think that's fair. He's it's very common that he's cast in villainous roles. You know, Lashif Caecilius, Hannibal Lecter in Hannibal. He has had those roles, so I would see that as likely. But I also would quite like to see him in non-villainous roles. He just starred in a film. What do I say? Just last year he starred in a film called Another Round, which is supposed to be real good, and I'm pretty sure is he up for Best Actor at the Oscars? I want to say that he is. I want to say that film has got some kind of Another Round Oscar nominations.
Wait, what was the actor's name again? Sorry, it went.
The actor, Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen.
Right. So
my brain decided to go think of a different conversation that we were talking about, like Best Actor. I'm like, oh, the Best Actors. Oh, and then you're thinking, I'm just like,
what? Yeah, no. So so Another Round has actually been nominated for Best International Feature and Best Director, and Mads Mikkelsen stars in that as well. So.
Oh wow! And what film?
Another Round.
Another Round.
Yeah, so it's I think it's Danish or something. But yeah, that's one that I want to check out.
I mean, Mads Mikkelsen's Danish.
Yeah, well, so that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. But
Definitely.
he plays like a supporting character or something else. That's going to be surprising. But
Yeah, I'd quite like to see somebody, because Indiana Jones for the most part have got some pretty good like side characters, Like, I think Short Round and Salah and Brody, like, they're just some really fun characters who have like some really like hilarious kind of interactions throughout the films. I actually rewatched the Indiana Jones films like in late 2020, and damn, they're good.
Yeah,
Don't know
they're really,
what else to say
yeah,
to that. They're good, yeah.
yeah. So
Um,
you watch them sometime.
yeah,
Uh,
we'll have to watch them before the fifth one comes out for the pod.
oh yeah, of course, yeah, and we'll
For the pod!
for the pod.
For the pod!
Yeah.
But in the
Oh,
meantime, we have a little bit more casting news. This isn't just any old casting news. This is like more of a casting confirmation. So we've heard before that Doctor Octopus, Doctor
yeah.
Octavius, what?
Did you
Otto
forget?
Octavius. I forgot his first name. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Why would you forget his name? Oh man.
So Dr. Otto Octavius, aka Dr. Octopus, aka Doc Ock, from Spider-Man 2, 2004 Spider-Man 2, played by Alfred Molina. For ages, there have been reports that he's going to be playing a character in some kind of multiverse kind of event in Spider-Man No Way Home. And he did, in an interview with Variety, he actually confirmed this. And not only did he confirm that he's going to be coming back as Dr. Octopus, he confirmed that he's going to be playing the same Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2, quoting John Watts, the director, as saying, "In this universe, no one really dies." What do you think?
Disappointed.
Same. Yeah.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, why are you disappointed? Spider
Here we go.
the character arc of Doctor Octavius, Doctor Octopus.
Mhm.
You know, in the film, he's trying to prove himself that he isn't a monster. Like, is that it? I haven't seen the film for a while.
Yeah, he's trying to finish kind of what he started, and then
Oh,
he ends
yeah.
the film by proving that he can use his intelligence, as a
Yeah.
privilege, as a gift, and he can prove himself to not be a monster. So yeah, you were halfway there. I
Oh,
like how you started on this amazing thing, like yes, I Spider-Man 2. Wait, what happens in Spider-Man 2 again?
Yeah, I haven't seen it for a while. So he goes on a rampage after his experiment gone wrong and his wife got killed in that, or accidentally got killed
in an unfortunate glass accident.
the glass accident. That's I went and then
She didn't cover her hands. She didn't just like raise her hands and just. It's fine. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and then he's trying to use the black hole. I haven't seen the film.
He uses tritium to create a huge amount of energy, using fusion and something. Yeah.
Science stuff.
Science.
Yeah. But then I remember the character arc for Doctor Octopus. So yeah, that was a fitting ending for him in Spider-Man 2. But no, they want him back for the Spider-Verse film. No Way Home. Why, Marvel? Why was you worried a character arc that was going to be so good? But no.
I have to agree with you there. It was so like
sad.
Yeah, it was emotional. It really had that kind of punch to it. And then now they're just saying, well, no one really dies. I mean, in theory, he should come back as a good person, but because at the end, he finally takes back control of his arms, and he does the right thing and makes a sacrifice for himself. And then to come back and just hate Spider-Man again, it feels like they're going in the opposite direction. I hope at the very least, obviously, Sam Raimi is filming Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I think he's got like 1 week of filming left. I hope that at the very least, they talk to him and they say, okay, where do you think this character should go? It's just like, how in WandaVision, when Quicksilver showed up, to the audience, that is huge because it's the X-Men Quicksilver. But to the characters, it means nothing because they've never met this Quicksilver before. Whereas, you're right there.
No, I'm just laughing about Ralph Boner.
Ralph Boner. Boner.
Yeah,
It's like that. If Tom Holland, if his Spider-Man meets Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus, they don't know each other. There's no kind of there's just no kind of rapport there. I don't know. I hope they do it well. I don't really think they will, but Yeah, I guess in the end it's not gonna ruin Spider-Man 2 because it's a whole different universe and all that. It doesn't have to ruin Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, and I feel like, what if that's gonna ruin other character arcs for, like, oh, the reason Spider-Man 2, Electro.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, did Electro really have? I mean, I wouldn't say Electro had a character arc,
Did
but
he? I thought he did, but
he didn't. I mean, he just kind of gets angry and then dies.
oh yeah,
So, I
maybe not.
mean, I feel like there's not really much to ruin with Electro, but I get your point. You're taking these characters and you're changing the context behind which they kind of die. It's not.
Yeah, and everyone is just like, oh, remember that character? Like, oh yeah, but he dies in the film, and he has a great character. Oh, let's take him out.
I mean, it's a tactic. At the end of the day, it feels like it's a tactic to get the fans on board. You know, people who love the Raimi films, it's a tactic to make them kind of want to see the film. Same with people who love the Webb films. You know, it's that kind of idea. Oh, how do we get these kids on board? Oh, let's show them what they really like. You know, let's appeal to the memes, John.
The memes.
Appeal right to the memes.
Yes. But
Oh, go on.
one more thing. I hope Marvel's not, being stupid using these characters that, trying to go, hey, remember that character? Oh, he's not Dr. Octopus. He's Ralph Boner. Sorry.
Oh my god, that would be the greatest twist of them all if Ralph Boner was Dr. Octopus.
Oh no! Oh god! If Ralph Boner.
What if they? What if? What if they retcon it? So at the end of Far From Home, when Peter's identity is revealed, Spider-Man isn't Peter Parker, it's Ralph Boner. Now that
and then
is what I need to see.
And then Daredevil, I forgot his real name. I don't know why.
Matt Murdock.
Yeah, Matt Murdock. Yeah, I remember now. So Matt Murdock's like, Your Honor, this is not Peter Parker. This is Ralph Boner. Mr. Boner here.
Mr. Boner.
He is here to present himself as not Peter Parker and not Spider-Man. He himself is Ralph Boner.
I have no idea what you just said, but I'm going to reply with a yes. I agree.
Yes. This is Ralph Boner. Yeah. So again, we're disappointed. Why?
Yeah. We'll never know. We'll know. I mean, however, now watch this amazing segue now. I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home might sound bad, but it isn't bad. Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Heck yeah, baby!
Woo! Now that is.
Okay, spoiler zone. This is a spoiler. Get out of here.
Spoilers. Go watch it. It's actually a really good show. So like, you should really watch it.
Watch it. It's super
doing well.
It might be one of the best TV shows if they not dropped the ball so far, but
one episode left.
One episode
every week for 5 weeks. I have been saying, don't drop the ball, Marvel, please.
And they haven't yet.
They haven't yet. You all remember WandaVision.
So this is spoilers. Get out.
This is spoilers.
Okay. Are they gone?
Away with you. Be there or be square.
Are they gone? Are they gone?
I mean, I don't know. I can't see them. Is it John Cena?
John Cena. He's about to kill us. No, it's the Predator. No, it's the
There's
Terminator.
a dog barking somewhere.
Bark.
What? Oh my god, you were a dog the whole time.
No. Okay. Okay, first of all, I want to say this is the best episode of this season. This series, I just absolutely love it.
It could be. I mean, the fact that in the penultimate episode, there was barely any action, and it slowed everything right down. It was like, okay, we've done, we did 2 episodes of character. We did 2 episodes of plot. I'm generalizing here. Obviously, there was plot and character in both. And then they took it straight back, and they're doing an episode of character. We got to take a breath. We got to fix a boat. We got some more time to see what everyone's up to, where everyone's at. What I think the most impressive thing about this episode is at the beginning of the episode, I was like, dude, Sam can't be Captain America. There's just nothing there, for him.
Yeah.
There's no way that can happen. And by the end of the episode, in that training montage, I was like, oh man, this is Captain America. Like
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
that.
Oh, that montage was really cool.
It
And
really-
again, I will talk about the fight sequence at the start, but this montage, I was like, yo, this is Captain America, because it's just like the episode. If you watch the entire episode and or the entire series season, you just realize, oh, Falcon, he can't be Captain America. But then once you just like understand what he's doing, and the montage is just great. It's
It,
just
it is the thing that I love about it is, the whole season, the whole episode, the whole season, everything has been telling you, Captain America is this kind of outdated icon. No one can kind of live up to this legend. No one can be what Steve Rogers was. And I think what Sam learns is that he doesn't have to be that kind of outdated kind of symbol. He can move forward. He doesn't have to be just the Black Captain America. He doesn't want to forget, his history. He wants to use it to create something better in the future. And
yeah,
and I think that whole episode really kind of solidified his arc. And I'm so grateful, man. I love it. I really, really appreciate it.
yeah. What the heck is that playing?
What?
Oh,
What?
no, listen. I just heard
John?
something playing.
Are you
Didn't know what
dead?
was that. I'm good. I'm good. I didn't know what just happened. I just heard something playing. I'm sorry about that if you heard about that.
Didn't hear anything, John.
I don't know what, but I just don't know what just played in my. I just don't know. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm over here talking about like the deepness of Falcon and Winter Soldier, talking about how good Sam's arc is, and you're just like, what? Something's happening. What's playing?
Yeah. Sorry about that, ladies and gents. But yeah, I totally agree. About having that arc of Sam realizing that he doesn't want to be you know what you said. Yeah, I agree with what you said. I don't
Just
ever,
what I said, basically.
yeah, I liked it. I loved it. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like some really deep moments in the episode. And you really think about John Walker's character. You don't understand him, but you do understand it sometimes, because he's angry, he's sad.
You can empathize with it, I think.
Yeah, because he's a bit very conflicting character in this season, and when he visits Lamar's parents, it's a very, very sad scene, because he said, I killed the person who killed Lamar, even though Lamar wasn't killed by that person at the end of episode 4. There was Carly. So, and then you go, oh wow, he's just not really understanding the situation that Carly just killed Lamar. So, yeah, and then you just think,
Yeah,
wow,
it definitely feels like he's kind of desperately trying to justify himself. He's
yeah,
like, no, I killed who killed Lamar, but he didn't. And there's a lot of, accountability to be had and to think about. The fact that, you know, we got Morris Ira Bradley in this episode, and it was great. And the fact that he, in his story, he kind of talks about how he went back to save like his friends, and for it he got thrown in prison. And for when Captain America did that back in World War II, when he goes back to save Bucky and he liberates all those men, he gets a Medal of Honor for it. He gets commended. He becomes the legend that is Captain America. He gets given the best technology, the best shield, gets to put together his own strike force and basically single-handedly take down Hydra. Whereas
yeah,
Isaiah Bradley gets thrown in prison. And it's a similar thing where Captain America kills someone in cold blood, in front of the world, cameras everywhere. They see what he's doing. He loses the shield, and all that he's given is a slap on the wrist and an honorable discharge. He doesn't get those real consequences. And I still think that there's a really nice kind of juxtaposition there
yeah,
where true kind of justice is skewed.
yeah, and it makes it, and this is what I really like about Marvel, because it's just it's looking into the issues of the real world, and how that applies to different characters, and for Tony, for Captain America, for Steve. I think yeah. So, but then it's about like the characters that were hidden, and it makes you think about it. So yeah,
Yeah, this show definitely does reflect, some of my favorite MCU stories. I like things like Iron Man 3 and the Winter Soldier that delve into kind of like the political world and like, the characters in ways of like PTSD and such. And I think one of the reasons why this show kind of works so well is that it brings reality, the real world even further into the forefront. It gives all these political themes in such a refreshing way. Like it's so good to get some, the MCU is kind of marketed as like, the real world, as that's kind of like how it was originally marketed. Obviously now it's so far from that, which is cool. But a load of my favorite superhero stories or comic book stories in general take, superheroes in the real world. Things like, Man of Steel, Logan, Watchmen, Kick-Ass, stuff like that. It's they like even the Dark Knight and stuff like these properties, these films, these stories that they can play with they can play with themselves, they can have fun with it, they can kind of they can be like, oh yeah, we know they're kind of in a big silly comic book film, but they can also kind of ask, yeah, but what if that, what if it was like in the real world. And I think the fact that Falcon and the Winter Soldier plays itself very tongue-in-cheek while also being very serious and not being
too comical.
Yeah, right. I was really worried from the trailers that it would be too comical, but what they've done is they've made it they haven't underdressed the seriousness of some of these issues. You can't just, I feel like the decision to not just make Sam Captain America is super smart, to have him go through this whole thing and not just brush over the fact that it is going to be different for a black man. It is going to be different making Captain America in 2023 than it is in 1945 or whenever Captain America became a thing. I think just that whole thing is so clever, and I'm loving it so much. I think kind of mentioning the trailers, I did talk about how I was kind of annoyed that the trailers had shown Sam training with the shield. But I mean, after watching that montage, I didn't care that we'd seen it in the trailers at all. It was so rewarding. And getting to hear Louisiana Hero, which is the song that's also plays in the credits, such a good piece of music. It uses the Falcon theme from Winter Soldier, and it has like some really nice chords in it, kind of like taking it back to Louisiana, like where Falcon's from, while like giving it that kind of heroic kind of flair to it. The music, as I always say, is top notch in this show.
Yeah, and yeah, well, you just said everything about my work.
Well, what do you kind of, because obviously Zemo, he kind of
yeah,
like
I
one
feel
scene.
like that. I feel like that moment because you think you as an audience think that he's gonna get killed by Bucky, but then that death is worse than. Well, no, wait, I'm not saying it right. So, Bucky was about to kill him, but then he wasn't. So he shows him like the bullets just raining down on the ground, and it's like
Another shot that was ruined in the trailer, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was in the trailer. Marvel, though, it could be cool. Yeah. So him having like shown the bullets raining down is like you're living and you're gonna get imprisoned. So Zemo was like accepting that he was gonna get killed, but no. So it's like Bucky's like tormenting him, like he's like, haha, you're staying alive. I didn't.
He breaks out in Staying Alive. He does some Bee Gees. He's like, staying alive, staying alive.
No, it's just like I don't know. It's just like the things that he's done in the past, and he really wants to let go, but he's still staying on. So
yeah.
You know what? I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but
no, I know what you mean. I think this show has struggled with Zemo. I don't think Zemo has. We've talked about it in the past. Zemo hasn't always kind of been relevant. He's kind of sometimes been there just for the sake of it, But I think that knowing when to take him out of the show is very smart, knowing that Zemo doesn't have a place in here. The super soldier serum's done with, the Wakandans can now have him. He's challenged because he was there primarily to challenge Bucky. And I think he did that. He did what he was there to do. He challenged him. He asked these questions, is he still the Winter Soldier? Is he still all these things? And now, now that these questions are answered, and now that Bucky feels that kind of resolve in himself, he kind of talks about how him and Sam have that discussion, and he, and throughout the episode, he mentions how he doesn't have to bring himself closure, he can bring other people closure as well, and that's kind of been part of him kind of getting over being the Winter Soldier. I think that it was smart just to be like, okay, Zemo serves this role, he challenges Bucky, and we don't need him anymore, so let's not waste time with him around. And I think they used him to his potential. Obviously, he's going to the Raft now, which could mean he'll be back in the future, maybe Thunderbolts. Some people are kind of speculating that the other villains are in the Raft. Abomination. Obviously, the Raft is headed by Thunderbolt Ross. So, and there is speculation about a Thunderbolts film coming in Marvel. I'm not sure if it's confirmed or anything yet. But yeah, I still think that they really struggle with Sharon Carter. I wouldn't normally care because I've never cared about Sharon Carter. But after episode 3, when they presented these really interesting things, like, this is what happens, people are left behind when you're not a superhero and you just have to act like, she's living on the run and living in hiding and such. And I just think it's a little bit boring for her to just be this kind of informant character. I would personally prefer it if she had a bit more to do, but, maybe she will, I guess.
Yeah, I felt like that she is really left out in this season. I wish there was like more time with her, but again, how that work, I don't know. So yeah, and it's really the fight sequence. Yeah, that was a very brutal fight sequence.
I appreciated that fight. Obviously, it didn't. It was kind of like a Civil War kind of fight. Like 3 people kind of fighting. And I really like how they use Falcon's wings, his power set in this. It's really cool. Obviously, at the end, they had that whole kind of like Captain America's like new suit, which I'm really excited to see. But I hope that he still has his wings because I love, the uniqueness of Falcon's wings. I know that he gave his wings to Torres, and in the comics, Torres just become this kind of new Falcon. But I do hope that he's not just like Captain America again with the new suit. I hope that he is, he's still got that like uniqueness that made him so cool and so interesting in fight scenes before. So yeah, I really liked all of that, and I thought I'd address. Obviously, there was the whole talk of this cameo, and the cameo turned out to be
Madam Hydra.
Madam Hydra, right? So she was supposed to be in, according to Deadline, she's supposed to be in Black Widow, which originally would have aired first. So it seems like they're kind of they might be building up Madam Hydra as this kind of villain across mediums. Well, what do you think?
Yeah, so I was just very confused. I was like, "Where's the cameo? Where's the cameo?" But no, it's
is it Paul Bettany again?
Oh no, John Cena. That's it. Yeah. So I was a bit disappointed, really, because we could have seen like a very unique character. Like me, we were just talking about it yesterday. No, the day before. Yeah, about who's going to be the new character, and we predicted that it's going to be Kingpin because that would have worked well for.
I mean, we still don't really know who the power broker is. It could be Madam Hydra. It could be Kingpin. It could be Sharon Carter.
It could be.
Because there was obviously the whole thing where Sharon Carter sent Batroc the Leaper to Carly at the end.
I see. Yeah, I guess that's it for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yes, I guess so. So before we move on to our main segment, I have to make amends, John. I have to do it.
Oh, he's going back in time to make amends.
I'm going back in time. 88 miles per hour. Let's go. Last week we talked about Restore the Snyder Verse, and after we were finished recording, I wanted to kick myself. In all honesty, I might cry when we
cry. Come on, man. Let me cover it. Let me cover it.
Working on the thumbnail, I said, okay, I really want to talk about Green Lantern. I love Green Lantern in the comics. He's one of my favorite. I don't think the film was that good, but I love Green Lantern in the comics. One of my favorites. I'm wearing a Black Lantern ring right now. Literally,
Yeah.
I said to our thumbnail guy, I said, dude, we gotta have Green Lantern there. And what did we do, John? We forgot to talk about Green Lantern. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay, let's talk about Green Lantern.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll quickly talk about Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter. We didn't talk about them last week, so let's just give a little bit of a Restore the Snyderverse follow-up. Green Lantern, what do you think?
Yeah, okay. I don't know much about Green Lantern. You know, I haven't read the comics. I haven't really explored much of.
Well, that's an issue we have to resolve. The New 52 run is absolutely wonderful.
Really?
The first three are written by Jeff Johns, and then after that, I think it's Robert Venditti, I think, and it's really good. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really successful. So Zach was gonna do John Stewart Green Lantern at the end of Justice League. The scene with Martian Manhunter could have been Martian Manhunter or Green Lantern, but apparently Warner Brothers didn't want that, so it was Martian Manhunter instead. I can't remember who was going to play Green Lantern. He's on screen right now. There he is. But obviously also in the scene where Cyborg sees the future, he also sees Kilowog, who is an alien lantern, dead, like in the Hall of Justice, in that kind of scene. And some concept art was just released for Kilowog, actually. He looks really cool. I love some Kilowog in the comics. I think, especially after the 2011 film, the Green Lantern stuff is something that I think sorely needs to be kind of revisited and looked at again. And I think it makes sense that, especially after teasing Green Lantern in the history lesson and stuff, it makes sense that if Darkseid was going to attack, there would be this kind of huge. It wouldn't just be the Earth protecting the planet. It would be, other. Because if this is like the final step for Darkseid to dominate the universe, I think Green Lantern makes sense to me to help out.
Yeah, I understand. And then Martian Manhunter. Yeah, so will be there like a follow up of like explaining on Martian Manhunter?
I'm sure that he would have had a bigger role in Justice League 2. I wasn't a huge fan of him in the Snyder Cut, in all honesty. I think the scene with Martha Kent, that should have just been Martha. I think having it be Martian Manhunter doesn't add anything to the scene. I think the ending is a good scene, but it's really, really weirdly tacked on at the end and feels more like it would be a post-credit stinger or something like that. Or just not there entirely, or because I feel like I liked it, but it was so just random at the end.
Yeah, I mean they could have done a lot more with Martian Manhunter at the end of Snyder Cut, but yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, it was a bit random. So yeah, that's me. Us continuing on the Snyderverse. So
we've done it. We've covered all bases.
yeah,
I can finally rest now. Goodbye. I'm going. I'm dying.
Like,
I'm
like
dying.
what
I'm
Thanos
ascending.
did. Like
I'm ascending. Yeah, I'm sitting down and watching the sunset on a grateful universe. When I say grateful universe, I mean like the one person who cared, which is me. I feel like I'm the only one who actually gave a shit. Oh, Neil. Okay, let's talk about Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah, you just transported to 1984.
Oh, we're here. Everyone's wearing whatever people wore in 1984. Sweatpants and headbands.
Yeah,
Cargo shorts.
Um,
Parachute pants.
wearing really weird clothes, and I thought it was trendy, but
It was trendy. No one could tell them otherwise.
It's the 80s. Everything's there.
Hmm.
Now, Wonder Woman 1984.
What did you think?
Okay, so I watched the film yesterday, and I don't know. It was just a bit. Okay, I don't hate it, but I don't know. I mean, it's a really good film, but I just felt like, meh. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
I know what you mean. I think immediately for me, it doesn't come close to the first film.
Yeah.
I think the first film is, and obviously the first film has its issues. We talked about it when we did Wonder Woman. The first film's third act is abysmal,
Yeah.
but I think the first film is a big success. I think it does so many
I
things right.
Yeah, it's really good because like it really makes you understand a bit more of Wonder Woman because we watched Batman v Superman and she just came out like saving Batman and Superman. So yeah, I thought that was really good to follow up on like what she's been doing. But then we just got Wonder Woman 1984, and this one was a weird one.
It definitely was. I think immediately it doesn't have the same explicit problem of a bad villain, but this time there are two villains, and I definitely preferred Maxwell Lord to Cheetah. I mean, I think immediately this whole kind of trope of the kind of geeky girl who's like wearing glasses and such, and then she kind of wakes up one day and takes them off and changes up her look a little bit, and suddenly she's glamorous, and suddenly she's everyone looking at her at the party and stuff. And obviously they take this concept like really extreme, but I just didn't really connect with her story the same way that I did with Maxwell Lord.
Yeah, I agreed because I felt like she was just there for, you know, really to like help with Wonder Woman's like her life, like, you know, what's she gonna do? Is she gonna find someone else, or is she just gonna, you know, continue this way of living and like meeting new friends? But yeah, I felt like she was a bit there for, you know, like justice for the character. You know,
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, she does present this kind of stark opposite to Diana of what can happen, if you kind of wish the wrong thing and it takes that kind of toll on you. But I felt like if you took away Cheetah from the film, you could have such a tight. I feel like the film in the second act it really struggles. It really kind of meanders along. It's kind of like, okay, we're doing this and we're going. We got to go to Egypt now. Is it Egypt?
Oh yeah, Cairo. Yeah,
Cairo, right? They go to Cairo, and
I felt that was just a bit rushed, to be honest.
That was such a strange scene.
Yeah, like Trevor just like, hey Diana, look at this. This is a ticket, and we could go on a plane. Let's go on a plane to Cairo, huh?
Yeah, right. It was like they go there and they have to like. It just felt like such a weird detour. Nothing huge happens. Maxwell Lord, he gains more power, but
yeah.
Other than that, like there's this very strange action sequence.
Yeah. Okay. I think the scene where they go to Cairo was a bit pointless because it didn't really push the story. It was just there for the action. And if the action pushes along with the story, I mean, I'm talking about the Fast and Furious films again. Like, they added the story, like what's going to happen on screen. But then, and if the location's right, or if it really, really impacted the story, that's good. But they didn't really do anything that much in this.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it really took the characters anywhere, other than maybe showing Wonder Woman's first signs of losing her powers.
Yeah, making her vulnerable. Vulnerable. This is me learning words.
That's next episode. Tom teaches John all the words.
Next week's episode is going to be interesting.
Yes, we'll talk about that at the end.
There was a lot of stuff that I just laughed out loud for no reason. Like, okay, so later on the film, Lord Maxwell.
Lord Maxwell.
Is it Maxwell?
Maxwell Lord. It's not Lord. He's not. He's his name.
I'm an idiot.
Lord Maxwell, please
Lord, okay?
give me your wishes.
He addresses the nation and the world, the world as well, and like saying, "Wish for anything." And then there was like two characters who were arguing, like, "I hope you Irish people go back to where you came from." And then the Irishman just goes, well, I hope he dropped it.
Yeah, right? There was this, it was a very strange bit of kind of political, like, was it political satire, linking to kind of like the rift between England and Ireland in the 80s. And it was just so strange. Like, it
Yeah.
felt like it was doing it, it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like you're doing like a Man of Steel, people on the ground being affected by what's happening. It just felt like a strange bit of like, oh look, the world isn't that different from back then, but done in a strangely comedic way.
Yeah, and I just felt like that was a very, very, very weird. And again, with like having the wishes, I don't think that was a bit impactful. I felt like it was just there, like, just there, just like, oh, guys, make me powerful. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I really liked the finale.
The finale. Yeah,
basically,
I like that as well. Like at the end, Diana like just saying truth is
yes.
Truth is beautiful. I think that's it.
It's so heartfelt, and so it was very much kind of like Superman 1978 or the Raimi Spider-Man films. It was so heartfelt, a little bit corny, but it really like got that. And Hans Zimmer played Beautiful Life in the beginning of Batman v Superman.
Yes,
which I thought was so wonderful to hear back again. You know, and that, like, I was sitting in the cinema, this kind of like unofficial cinema, like watching it, and it was super impactful to like hear that music and like have this message told at such a point where like to give some context, in the UK they'd literally just told us that they were gonna stop lockdown. They were gonna have a bigger lockdown over Christmas, so we weren't gonna be able to see family and stuff. And then like to hear that message, I feel like it's a film that did kind of come at the right time for me when watching it.
Like, if you forget about the failures of the film, it does have a really important message, and I really like that. So
yeah, the emotions of the film are what is important in this case. There's a really good video essay by High Top Films where he talks about like, the film has so many failures, but it is super emotional. It has that impact that is so important.
Yeah,
and go on.
I just said it's just about the emotion. Yeah.
Definitely. I have to say though, basically all the trailers were championing the golden armor. The golden eagle armor.
Yeah.
Wait.
Asteria.
Yeah, something like that. I was very disappointed.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be like really, really cool to do with the armor, but no.
No, I think it's so odd. I really like the finale, but before the finale, there is a fight sequence between Wonder Woman and Cheetah, and I thought it was dreadful, man.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on, to be honest.
It was shot so the lighting was so low key. It was shot so dark, and it was underwater for a little bit. You couldn't see any of the colors or anything like that. It was all really fast with these huge wings that eventually she just ditched, and it was so. I was just so confused as to like. I'm glad that the actual finale was more emotional than just kind of mindless fighting, but I really thought after the fight at the end of Wonder Woman, the first one, I kind of thought that they wouldn't do that again, but they kind of did.
Yeah, they kind of did as well. I mean, it wasn't impactful, I feel. But the fight scene, I just did not like that. I was just like,
I think all the Cheetah stuff just didn't really do anything. It wasn't emotional for me or anything like that. It was the Maxwell Lord stuff, about this failed businessman who has this kind of he felt like this kind of like Gilderoy Lockhart kind of exterior where he is like this kind of like life is good, but it can be better, and he's this like big personality who's like a womanizer and all this stuff, but on the surface he just wants to make things better for his kid, and in doing that he makes the wrong choices, and I think Pedro Pascal really sells that role.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of. It was just a bit of a mess, really. This film, I just thought,
I
you know,
agree.
it wasn't really a DC film. I just felt like it was just empty.
Yeah, it definitely felt like the kind of film that would have been, a lot of people did like compare it to the original Superman films. I think it would have been really at home if it came out during that time. The kind of film that you look back on, and you're like, oh, it's really
Yeah,
sweet. It's got so much heart to it, and it's really heartfelt, but it's not, you know, it doesn't really age well. There's not like a lot for the modern audience that kind of doesn't age well. Like I think the action was very half and half. I really enjoyed the first action scene in the shopping mall.
yeah, I like that as well. That was really good. That one. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a good kind of like opening.
that's the only good fight scene that we found in the film.
Mm.
But yeah, I just really like that. Like seeing her in the 80s. But yeah, I just felt I'm just having flashbacks to the Amazing Spider-Man 2. That great introduction. But then
Yes.
the film.
I mean, I think first of all, it's better than Amazing Spider-Man 2.
it,
I
it is.
definitely liked it more than Amazing Spider-Man 2. But I get what you mean. There are so many aspects. I think visually, it's very good looking at a lot of the film. The ending aside, the actors are all kind of putting in really good performances, and as you just said, the introductory action is really good. What did you think of Themyscira? Because it starts with this whole like
Um,
Olympic style scene
um,
with Diana
okay.
Diana kind of competing and then like taking a shortcut, and then the lesson is that she has to choose between like what is fair and what is easy. And
I,
I think, well, what
I
did you think of it?
I don't know. I just felt like it was a bit of a lengthy introduction, to be honest.
Definitely, it was a lengthy introduction. I agree, but I think it was a bit forced. It
Yeah,
was a bit like,
it
how
was
do
very
we?
forced. I could tell it was very forced because it didn't really really pushed like thinking back to like what the main theme of the film it's truth, but it didn't really push forward, but it just went backwards and that's it.
I feel like it was the creatives thinking, how do we get Connie Nielsen and Robin Wright? How do we go back to Themyscira? Let's do something fun with that. And I think it worked well for the message of the film, but I do think it was just a strange way to open the film. Also,
Yeah,
did
yeah.
you watch the mid-credit scene?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that was a strange one.
Yeah, that was a very, very strange one because, the film was a mess. There was some failures. There was a good finale though, but the end, the credit scene, what the heck? That's the original Wonder Woman, and who played in the
Yes, Linda
show,
Carter.
TV show, right? Yeah, yeah,
Yes, Linda Carter. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, and she's that as playing as Asteria. So
Yes.
this is gonna be interesting. Wonder Woman 3. So
Yeah, so whether they do Wonder Woman 3, I think they kind of set up Asteria, and then there's also Cheetah didn't renounce her wish at the end. So Cheetah is still Cheetah.
she,
So there's still
uh,
that kind of
uh,
possibility.
yeah, and another thing I thought about like Cheetah, I like she just wants to be strong, but then she decides to be an apex predator.
She
So
does indeed.
a furry? I'm
It
joking.
was whoa, that's too far. No,
Uh,
it felt like such a strange escalation. She's like, oh, I'm sick of being downtrodden by people. I want to be more like Diana. Okay, fair enough. So she gets strong, and then she's like, aha, now I want to be a cheetah. Wait, what? Like,
that's a
how?
very
Why did?
that's a very, very strange like it's not a very good character development. Yeah, it's just like, oh, I want to be strong, and everyone's like, okay, okay,
Yeah,
we understand, and then she becomes a cheater. What?
it's like I don't really know much about Cheetah in the comics,
Yeah, me neither.
but if like I don't know if this is like how it is in the comics, but it just feels like rushed, and it feels like it's really, really rare for a comic book film to do two villains well, you know? The only time that I can really think, if I rack my brain, the only time that a comic book film really succeeds at doing two villains is in the Dark Knight trilogy. Each film has two villains and it works, but I think that it's difficult to balance them, you know? It's like, if you think about the Dark Knight trilogy, most of the time, it's kind of like a half and half situation, you know? In Batman Begins, Scarecrow is the villain of the middle, and Ra's al Ghul. I almost said Ra's al Ghul because that's the proper way of pronouncing it. Christopher Nolan. Ra- Ra's al Ghul, he's like the beginning and the end villain. This time it was like Cheetah and Maxwell Lord were kind of battling it out for the main kind of spot. But right, what did you? Obviously, this film brings back Steve Trevor. What did you think of Steve Trevor?
Pointless character. Don't know why. What the heck? Yeah, I didn't really find that impactful at all. I mean, in some cases it did. I thought Steve Trevor was, it's good to see him, but I felt like, I mean, we did see a goodbye, but I just felt like, oh, that's Steve Trevor.
I feel like getting him there was a bit of a struggle for the film.
Yeah.
They had him kind of possess somebody else's body instead of just being brought back. He's in someone else's body, and so he's walking around someone else's body the whole time. And Diana literally sees Steve, and then at the end, he's the regular guy again. It's such a strange kind of. It was a very weird way of doing that, you know? I thought that was such a, like, why don't you just bring him back? You don't have to explain it. Just be like, I'm back now. It's a magic wishing stone. You know, what more explanation do you need? It's magic. Poof,
Yeah.
you know?
And having the stone didn't really have that impact. I mean, it's a wishing stone, but I wish there was like a bigger villain, like a god maybe, but no, it was just a god of deception, Dalos, whatever.
Well, I feel like they might have done that, but I feel like after doing that in Wonder Woman 1, and that really failed, you know?
I mean, it was a bit, washed at the end, but
Yes,
yeah,
that really failed to introduce Ares. But I think the emotional stuff with Steve really worked. I really, really liked the scene where, Steve kind of tells Diana, you have to kind of let me go. There's no way around it, I love you, but, you've got to save the world. And you can't do that if I'm here, you've got to let me go. And you have to renounce your wish. And she does. And I thought that was such an incredible scene. And then it gets really weird and Diana starts flying.
Yeah.
It was such this really weird scene where she was flying in like the CGI background, and it didn't have the weight of kind of Man of Steel's first flight, for example. It was more kind of like airy and kind of like just like her doing a couple of rolls on like against the green screen. That all just felt real weird to me. I'm not gonna lie. Other than that, I mean, I think the CGI in general was all right, but it was also very strange. There were quite a few shots that I was like, what? Like, in Cairo, when Wonder Woman gets out of the car and she starts running.
Oh, yeah.
That was such a strange shot. There were just loads of strange CGI shots that I just thought were so weird, man.
Yeah.
And I have to say, Hans Zimmer is amazing in general, but I didn't like his score. It was really flat, and I kind of expected him to really kind of go all out with the Wonder Woman theme. I really expected him to do it and make it as impactful as it is in Batman v Superman, but he doesn't, and I was disappointed by it. I mean, the scene where he plays Beautiful Lie was wonderful, but other than that, I was kind of disappointed by him, which is a real shame because, I really like him as a composer, and I think he's done some great stuff.
Yeah. The film was, I don't know.
It was fine. I think it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, with the failures, with everything, I thought it was just okay.
So, when we talked about Wonder Woman, What did you give it out of 10? I can't remember.
Oh, the first one.
Yes.
I think a 7 or
Okay.
8. I'm
Yeah,
not too sure. I think I
I
went
think I
seven.
gave it a 7 or an 8.
Yeah, I think we did. We don't know if someone out there, decides to comment down like, "Hey guys, yes you did. You got me." Yeah, I'm sorry, but
That's how all of our subscribers sound
uh,
like. We love you
I
guys, by the way.
subscribe it. uh,
Okay, so what would you give Wonder Woman 84?
a 5 or 4.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 5, which is a real shame. I was really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
didn't
like,
deliver.
sorry, like everything we've seen in the trailer, it was like promising us. It's a 5 out of 10.
Yeah. So
Um,
when this film came out, Wonder Woman 3 had not yet been greenlit. In fact, I think Patty Jenkins even said that she wasn't sure she wanted to do another one. But then obviously Wonder Woman 84 was very popular. A lot of people watched it. It wasn't the best kind of received, but it was very popular. What do you think about the prospect of a third Wonder Woman film?
um, okay, that's going to be a bit challenging, really. But if they can do something different, which I'm hoping, not like bringing characters, not, I'm hoping they're not going to bring Cheetah back. But if they can
Bring Steve back again.
bring
Woo!
bring Steve back again, woo!
Yeah,
But
let's do it.
no, I wish that it could be like something an entire different film. Not like not having to follow up like, oh no, I miss Steve. Oh no, Cheetah. Oh no, Maxwell Lord. But Maxwell Lord was actually a good character. But
Yeah,
Wonder Well,
I think if they did a third one, I'd want it to be different. But I don't know if I don't know if I care really.
yeah, I I don't know. I just felt like, eh. So
Yeah, it's like I want to see DC do some really like cool, interesting, like let directors do like some cool stuff, and if it's really great, then I'll be up for a sequel. But I mean, recently, I
they
just want them to keep on trying new things. There's nothing that I've been like, oh yeah, I need Shazam 2, I need Aquaman 2, I need Wonder Woman 3, I need Birds of Prey 2. No, I just kind of want to see them get new directors and get people like doing new stuff. You know, James Gunn is doing the Suicide Squad, and it looks awesome, but Patty Jenkins will be doing Wonder Woman 3 again, so I don't really know what their kind of plan is with that.
um yeah, I kind of wish they explored more of the 80s and like how Diana just interacts with
Yeah,
people.
at the beginning of the film, there was a wonderful panning shot of pictures in Diana's apartment, and it had pictures of all the characters from the first Wonder Woman film, and they were really old, and like it showed that Diana wasn't changing, but the people around her were becoming old and withering. And I thought that would have been so interesting to explore. Diana doesn't age; she has to watch all these people. It's very much like Logan. I was like, oh my god, are they gonna do something like bloody Wolverine? That would be so cool. And they didn't. And I was like, what? Why? Like that could have been so interesting.
Oh yeah, and Stag Industries. Simon Stagg was in the film.
Was
But
it
yeah,
Simon Stagg from Batman Arkham Knight?
Stag.
He made the Cloudburst.
Cloudburst. Yes, explody explody where everyone gets fear. Fear, yeah.
That's what the developers of Arkham Knight said in the pitch meeting. Splody splody where everyone gets fear.
And then one said, "Hey, then one of them just put their hands up like, can we have Deathstroke a boss fight? No, and just go
No.
building.
We're gonna have
Uh,
Joker in it again. The Arkham
Yeah,
Knight's going to be Jason Todd. Spoilers, by the way. Sorry, for a game that came out about 6 years ago.
6 years ago. Jesus.
I think so. Well, let's have a look.
Oh wow, wow. So yeah, so that's our
2015, 6 years ago.
wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's our review of Wonder Woman 1984.
Finally did it, and it was disappointing. But we did it, guys. We've literally had a thumbnail ready for like 6 months, so I'm very glad to finally get to do it.
Yeah, and I even bought the film on Blu-ray.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I thought it was going to be great. I mean, the mise en scène looks incredible, but
I'll buy it off you. I'll take it.
okay. How much?
Well, I mean, how much do you want?
I mean, I bought it for
£1,000?
What?
£1,000?
£1,000?
Yeah, next week we're going to be doing best film scores. We're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite film scores each.
Oh,
I'm going to be talking.
Talk about this. I mean,
Yes, me too.
To talk about a very disappointing film, but it's going to be fun.
Yay!
Yeah, it's going to be talking about our favorite scores. From Star Wars, from DC to any film that we could talk about. And
I'm probably gonna surprise you. I don't have any Star Wars or DC on mine.
Oh, I don't have Star Wars or DC on mine.
Wait, what?
I just said that it could be anything, but
it could be anything.
It could be anything. You don't know. But...
It's not Star Wars or DC, but it could be. Oh, wait. I just remembered Revenge of the Sith. Ooh. I might put Revenge of the Sith on there. Who knows? But yeah,
I do have a list already, and I'm very, very struggling to have a number one contender. But I'm just not gonna have them in order. But
my number one is a no-brainer. But yeah, so we're gonna be talking about scores and soundtracks and yeah, all that goodness. Shall we move on to the weekly viewing segment?
Oh, thank God! Yes, please.
Let's do it. Okay, John. What have you watched this week? Tell me.
So this week I have watched The Revenant.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yes. So The Revenant is based on a true story, and this true story is incredibly ridiculous and insane. Like, if you look on YouTube, well, that will ruin the story of The Revenant. Don't look at that now, but watch the film and then you get a clearer picture of what this character's going through. So this story follows on a man. Where does he live? Okay, so he lives with the Indians. He lives with the Indians called the Pawnee Indians, and he works with this traveling company, or this company like sells fur and to trade with the fur. But one day they got attacked by the other native Indians who are living in America. So they were having problems with that. So then Hugh Glass, this is the character we're following on, one day gets attacked by a bear. And this bear scene is just brutal. Like, oh my God.
This is the film that won Leonardo DiCaprio's Oscar, isn't it?
Yeah. And the way that he did in this film is just amazing. Like, it's just so realistic, and like what he does, and like the pain that he's going through, and and the film just makes you cold. All of a sudden, you're just like, oh, I just want to be warm, because the film is just like so cold and just like, just want to be warm. Anyway, and the score, the score is so good. It's just like.
Is it going to be on your top 5 scores next week?
And I have to listen to it again because, I have to make that judgment. But yeah, and the film is just 100% natural, and I was just amazed by the cinematography and the way that we follow up on this character is impactful, and we understand his intention like throughout the film, and it's just like, really, wow, that's such a and it's just like a very good revenge story. So yeah, so so Hugh Glass gets attacked by a bear, and then he gets
I keep on hearing Hugh Glass and think Hugh Grant. And I'm just imagining Hugh Grant getting attacked by a bear.
help, help. No, so
Help!
Hugh
I was
Glass,
in Love Actually and in Paddington too.
so sorry, let me just continue this plot, like, what happens.
Okay,
So then, like, why do you want to watch this? So then Hugh Glass gets attacked by a bear. He can't walk, he can't move, he can't speak, he can't do anything. So, and then another person, Fitzgerald, who works with Hugh Glass, he said, hey, you know what, let's leave him, for dead, because he can't do anything. So they basically left Hugh Glass for dead. They just decide, oh, he's dead, and it's just crazy. So, and there was like moments that I really really loved, especially the ending, and I kind of wished I watched it on the cinema, because that would be really like impactful on the big screen. But anywho, you can dream for that. But I watched it with headphones, and it's just very, very scary, and very so engaging to have like the wonders of headphones. But
yeah, we were saying when we met up the other week, or the other day, we were saying there's no better thing than watching a film with headphones on. It's wonderful.
Yeah. So I give this a film out of 10, because it's just a very it's just
Wait, what out of 10? Sorry.
10 out of 10.
Okay, I thought you said I give it a film out of 10, and I'm like, wow, that's
Wow,
wonderful.
film out of 10. Wow.
Film out of 10, everyone.
Yeah, and it's just insane how like with the cinematography, and it's just 100% natural, because usually today with Hollywood, it's just filled with CGI, really. Like it's kind of like downgrading a bit. So but with the Revenant, it's just like the one thing that's really happening today in Hollywood. It's just there. That's that spark of like having that Western type dark dystopia, and like not just like having that old Western, but like I just can't explain the Revenant. It's just that good. It's just very very and the performance, yeah, just 10 out of 10. So that's it. That's welcome to my TED talk, and that's it.
I'm blessed to be here. Well, I started watching, should I say. I started watching Batman the Animated Series. Now, obviously, this like, I already know so much about it. It's obviously super famous for producing Kevin Conroy as Batman and Mark Hamill as the Joker, both of which I know really well from the Arkham games. But I'd never actually watched any, I've never watched The Mask of the Phantasm, I've never watched Mr. Freeze, Sub-Zero, Batman Beyond, any of the things that have kind of come out of the animated series. I've never watched it before. I never really watched any of the superhero cartoons when I was a kid. But obviously I heard loads of good about it, and I've watched about 10 episodes so far. And it is really good. There's a really nice, like, simplicity about it. But it really understands the character of Batman and all the characters of all the villains, and what makes them so compelling. And the fact that it's not like it's still intelligent. It doesn't just have like every ending be a beat 'em up action sequence. There's a lot of clever kind of detective work and logic used in the conclusions, and like the first episode is about Man-Bat, and there's barely any action in it, and I would expect from a TV show, like made for little kids, there would be a lot of like bang pow spectacle. That's definitely what you kind of get from the iconic opening, which is Batman beating up some thugs, the Batmobile and the lightning and the Tim Burton Batman theme. I mean, I don't want to say the music is also incredible. Bringing back that original Batman theme is really cool for that kind of era, in the 90s. And it's just a really, really nice little, Batman kind of narrative. And it is kind of early on in his career, like people are still kind of unsure of him. But it's a really pure kind of faithful adaptation of the comics that doesn't, need to be scrutinized too heavily and is loads of fun. And it also is quite tongue in cheek with itself, like as most Batman like films or TV show, you get a lot of like kind of comedy with Alfred, and that kind of stuff's like always really really fun. So yeah, I think so far I'd give it like a really good 8 out of 10. I'm really enjoying it. And it's just good to not like not have, because normally like for me there aren't any Batman films that are fine. For me, Batman films are either like really good or really disappointing. So it's good to have something that's just solid. It is solid. It's pure. It's great. It's loads of fun. I got a box set for Christmas which has all the seasons. I think there's 4 seasons and the 2 films. So over the weeks I'll be watching them, and yeah, I've really waited a long time to start watching them, but I'm really enjoying it so far, and it's a good break from what you kind of get in other Batman mediums, and good to have something ongoing, like something like Gotham where you just keep on watching it week by week. So that's like really fun, and yeah, so I think 8 out of 10 so far, and I definitely recommend it to anyone who hasn't watched it. It's a really good comic book show.
Wow, right. So this week, or yesterday, I watched a film called Sound of Metal.
Oh, dude, I want to watch that.
Yeah. You not watched it yet?
Not yet.
Right. I would recommend you watching it straight away. So this film.
You would?
Yes, I recommend the film straight away. You need to watch it straight away because it's
Straight
just.
away. I'm doing it. I'm doing it now. Okay. Bye. See you. See you later.
Okay.
Go on.
So
Bye.
let me explain on the film. So the film.
That was a trick. That's a trick. I'm back. See.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the film follows on this person who's playing in a metal band. Yeah, in a metal band, and he loses his hearing, and he struggles on like he doesn't want to lose his dream of like working with his girlfriend on this metal band. So yeah, and he decides to. Oh, well, his girlfriend wants him to go to this area where deaf people. Well, yeah, where there's like deaf people like trying to recover, but this area is just like specifically for the people who are in need with the hearing loss. So yeah, so this is interesting for me because I am deaf, so well, I got hearing aids, so yeah, so this is quite a personal film for me. But like with other films who introduced deaf people, it was there for the story. Like I mean, A Quiet Place, and other films that I can't remember, but and so and
Yeah,
with
I think there's a deaf actress gonna be in Eternals.
yeah, which I'm very happy. So yeah, and I feel like with with deaf people who are trying to work in the film industry, they are very struggling. And this film really reflects on with deaf people, and it's very interesting to see someone who's losing hearing, and they have to go through this pain because they can't listen to music ever again. And this film is about a community, and it's about to be welcomed by that community, and it's great. And I really like that because I've been to a lot of with lots of deaf people, and it's just great because I just feel like I'm a part of something. But now with lockdown, I just feel like just alone. But yeah. So
Whew.
with this film, it just it's just quite personal to me because you understand this person, and he's trying to learn the way of how like deaf people, live in this world and how they go through it. And people, this film, I just think whoever's deaf, and then I'll just go, hey, have you seen Sound of Metal? And they just go, no. So I just say, just watch that, because that's how, that's quite personal to me. So yeah, and I really like the character development, understanding, with Ruben's the main character in this film, and you understand the journey that he's going through. Yeah, so I give this film a 10 out of 10, because with everything, with the cinematography, with the score, and it just puts you into the world. And yeah, sorry for sounding a bit.
No, that's amazing, man. Thanks for sharing. That's
yeah, and it's just so personal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great when people share their personal experiences like that, and yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So it's and the ending, man, that's I'm getting emotional now. God. Yeah, the endings represents how I feel, and it's just great. Yeah. Sorry. 10 out of 10. Yeah. Sorry for sounding emotional. So yeah.
No, you're good. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will look out to watch that.
Yeah. Yeah. What else you watched? Yeah.
Okay, so I watched Fleabag seasons 1 and 2.
Fleabag.
Right. Yeah. So obviously, last week I mentioned this because, Phoebe Waller-Bridge being cast in Indiana Jones, and she wrote and starred in Fleabag, and it is just an incredible show. Kind of about the power of memory. The whole thing kind of, it's almost as if you start by the first season is season 2. The whole show kind of comes off an event that's happened in the past, and so many things it's about this kind of catharsis, and kind of having to like get over things and deal with how lives change and how relationships change, which is a really kind of poignant message to so many people, and which is I think and it's done in a pretty funny way, pretty tongue in cheek, quite dirty as well, which is probably a thing was a lot of the appeal. These kind of really, really kind of like serious and traumatic issues for so many people are put into this kind of this scope and this landscape that is, quite funny. But it knows, when to, stop and remind you, what it's all about. It's about, it's a reminder of love and loss, and the way that people never really leave you. The people in your life who've gone by, you carry them with you, and even yet there are times when people kind of elaborate on the fact that even though someone's gone, they're expected to just keep on going, but it's difficult, and it is difficult, and there are and it's just it's done with relatable and somewhat stereotypical characters, but they give nuance to the stereotypes, and you know, they show that even the most kind of basic people can have so much going on beneath them. Um, and and I think the beauty of it is, you know, it's only 2 seasons. Each season has 6 episodes, and it doesn't even end on a particularly happy note, but it ends because, you know, it and you know, they've elaborated on the fact that season 3, you know, they don't have any plans for season 3 because it ends on that kind of perfect, you know, limited like note, which is pretty bittersweet. It presents life as it is, but it also reminds you to laugh at life because it can be quite funny sometimes. And you know, like, it's just one of those things that so many people can connect with. And it's the second time that I've watched it. And you know, the first time I watched it was a couple of years ago. And you sometimes forget, it's easy to forget how, you know, how good things are, but also seeing it from a different perspective, you know, a couple years on, is something that is always really kind of surprising. You always find new things in properties that you know, already know that you like, and you found something back in I found something in Fleabag 2 years ago, and now I'm finding things now, and it's a good commentary that you know, on life, that I think can apply to everyone, and is, you know, not only funny but also really kind of poignant and nuanced, and something that, you know, you should definitely check out. I mean, just to not give it a 10 out of 10, I think would be a disservice. So I think I have to give it a 10 out of 10 just because it is that interesting and that good and that kind of realistic and affecting for so many different reasons. So yeah, definitely recommend it. It's on BBC iPlayer if people in the UK, so you can watch it. I don't know about anywhere else. Oh, it's on Amazon Prime, of course. Yes, it's on Amazon Prime or BBC iPlayer, so you can watch them. And yeah, I don't think you can go wrong. It's really good. You know, that is if you like some of the dirty humor that it kind of goes for. So, you know, you might not, that might not be a thing, but it has a lot to say, and I think it has some really important messages. There's a reason why it was so popular. So yeah, definitely recommend it, and I give that a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I recommend those 2 films I just said. Yes, Fleabag sounds really good.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I'll give that a watch. Yeah, a lot of people, especially my sister's friends and my mom and my mom's friends, they like, oh, Fleabag's so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, and Empire, rated that. Yeah, I think, yeah, they did that. Yeah, they reviewed that. Yeah, so that's it from me. But I've been watching. I think that's it. Anything else? I've been reading White Knight. It's good.
Oh yeah.
Very
Cool.
good. But I haven't finished it yet, so I can't do anything about it. But it's very good. Yeah, so that'd be it for me. From the weekly viewing segment.
Well, guess what? Something has happened, John. Something that happens only once in a blue moon.
No.
Yes, John.
No.
Yes.
The email segment.
We have an email.
Yeah, baby.
Yes. So this is from Master Emrybo, who has emailed in before and was actually the last person who emailed in. So we have a recurring fan. This is incredible. Okay, so they say, it is I, Master Emrybo. Hello, Master Emrybo. They say, I have a question for you both. Do you watch all the Arrow shows? If not, how come? Oh, John, that's a question for you there. And if you, a brief rundown of your opinions in the recent episodes would be great. Sincerely, me, Emrybo. So, John, do you watch the Arrow shows? And if not, why not, John? Why not? See, I do. I watch them.
Okay. I gotta explain here. I don't know why. Okay, so it's nothing bad. Okay, it's not bad. Okay, because I didn't get a chance to watch it, and now I think I lost the Arrow. No, I haven't. I found it. So
yeah, I got it in 2019 for Christmas. I got John Arrow season 1. Because I know that he loves Deathstroke, as people who listen to the pod will know. And I was like, well, John must love Arrow then. How many episodes have you watched, John?
I don't want to talk about it.
No, to be fair, you've watched The Flash. You've watched the first 4 seasons.
Yeah. I have. But I don't know why. But I it's really, really good. But I just don't know why. I didn't want to continue it. I just think I don't think I was in the right mood, because with everything that was happening at the moment, I just don't know why I watched the show. Oh yeah, because I was revising for my GCSEs.
Oh yeah, that never happened. Banging. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, and that makes me. That made me forget about the show. Oh.
Well, there's a reminder for you. And as for the recent episodes, I think the start of a season is always like really difficult. I feel like a lot of the shows do take a little bit of time to get into it, and I think that's what's happening with this year of Arrow at the moment. You know, Arrow is gone now. It's over. So we're being carried by like The Flash, Supergirl, Batwoman, Black Lightning, and Superman and Lois, and they're all kind of fine. Supergirl and Black Lightning are on their final seasons, and it doesn't feel special enough. I feel like a final season should be there to revisit old kind of things, show how the characters have developed and changed, and kind of celebrate how far the show has come. But for these two seasons, it just kind of feels like business as usual at this point, which I know I prefer something else, and I kind of hope that towards the end of the season, they kind of treat it more like it is a special event. Like they did with Arrow, you know, it's important for them to do that. I really think so. Season 6 of The Flash was so good. But season 7 so far, it's kind of meandering along, not really doing anything for me. But I did talk about in the pod Superman and Lois already, which I think is awesome. I'm loving it. So yeah, I really hope that they kind of continue to do good, and I hope they end as well. I really I like it when things end. I think it shows that things aren't kind of invincible and things are special because they end, not because they go on forever. So yeah, John. Watch at least one season of Arrow. The Deathstroke stuff makes it all worth it. The Deathstroke stuff makes it all worth it, I promise.
I'll try.
No, John. Do or do not. There is no choice.
I'll do it.
That's Yoda. That's a Yoda reference. John, that's a Yoda reference.
It's Star Wars. Okay.
Oh, it's Star Wars.
It's Star Wars, yeah.
Hey, speaking of Star Wars, the Bad Batch starts very soon.
It does.
You gotta be brushing up on the Clone Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so this week watching weekly viewing was quite personal, but
yes, it was.
So email. Thank you for emailing us, but I know there's a lot of people who are trying to, or they're not doing the comments, but if you got comments, whatever you got to say, just comment down or email us at the Out of Time Film Podcast thing. Was it Adam? Tom.
Did you just call me Adam?
No.
Who's Adam? Do you have another friend you're not telling me about?
I do have a friend called Adam. Okay.
My God.
I play games. Okay.
And my God.
I'm sorry.
He has another friend that he's not telling me about. Can you believe this? Can you believe this, ladies and gentlemen? You're hearing this. Next week's going to be the Out of Time Film Pod with John and Adam. See, I just did it too. I'm as bad as myself as you.
I get mixed up with names. I don't know why.
No, you're all right. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so you can get in touch with us at outoftimefilmpod@gmail.com. And thank you everyone for listening. As always, if you enjoyed, leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. Next week we're going to be doing our top 5 favorite film scores, as well as the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I am so excited. I really hope you don't drop that ball. Don't drop the ball.
I hope they don't drop the ball, and catch. But then you go.
Every week we say don't drop the ball, and they haven't yet. So please. I hope they do well. So yeah, and you can also get in touch with us, or just follow us on Twitter or Instagram at Out of Time Film Pod, or individually on Twitter. I am Tom the Bourbon on Twitter.
I am Comedy John 42 on Twitter.
And yeah, so in the coming weeks we've got best film scores. The week after that, hopefully we'll talk about Invincible, the Amazon Prime show, and then we're going to start doing the Bad Batch, depending on whether John can watch all of these shows. So yeah, that's it. That's it from us. I don't think I have anything else to say. Do you have anything else to say?
No, but be safe.
Be safe as always.
Yeah. If you're out and about,
we're coming out of lockdown slowly, but it is happening.
Yeah. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. For our weekly, just listening in, or just
our weekly little chat.
Our little chat, just
now complete with microphones and real audio.
Better audio, yeah. I mean, I got a better microphone, but we just need to. But my computer's not taping Skype.
Honestly, you don't know how much of a step up it is, for you to sound any like audible at all. So I wouldn't worry about not having like your microphone into your computer just yet. I wouldn't worry about that. You sound a lot better than you did before.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Right then. So without further ado, take what you're given.
Yes, nothing back.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.